Well, it's been a long day. Let's go to bed and rest. Because despite being our first day of freedom, we actually have quite a lot to do today.
I wonder how Chia's doing. Too much stuff happened yesterday. I hope she's back to her usual self.
And I hope her usual self doesn't mean kicking us and demanding steak skewers.
Oh, morning. Yep, I was out cold until this morning.
Same as for Yosuke. Persona Awakenings can be very cathartic like that.
Thanks for everything yesterday. It's kind of embarrassing, you know? You two were right there to see my hidden feelings and all.
In a way, that's what friends are for.
Don't sweat it.
The same thing happened to Yosuke, right? So, what was it like?
Huh? How should I put this?
Sounds like someone just ordered a stupid-looking boss.
I'm so sorry I had to.
Oh, I nearly forgot. None of that happened when yours awakened, huh? Could that be because you've got nothing to hide?
I don't know. Everyone has shadows within them. That's what Teddy was saying. But you started with Izanagi.
Oh, so nothing happened for you?
Well, I wouldn't say nothing. We still had a dramatic speech, and it appeared, and lightninged a bunch of tongues. That's a weird sentence.
I gotta agree that you seem like a pretty open guy. There's a funny air about you. I don't know. I guess that's what draws people to you or something like that.
Protagonist Powers! And welcome to one of the more annoying features of Persona 4. This game will often lock off dialogue options to you based on your social stats, and this early in the game, it's impossible to have that much courage without a New Game Plus.
I don't know.
So we, have to choose something else.
Yep, it's a compliment.
I will be showing from a New Game Plus file what those options do, but just a spoiler alert, they're actually not really all that significant, so it's kind of annoying the game teases you with them now.
If you say so.
Anyways, what's most important right now is to rescue Yukiko. I'm dead set on coming. Remember, you promised.
3 is definitely better than 2, I'll take it.
Oh crap, I still haven't gone to the bathroom.
What is it with him in bathrooms?
Hey, thanks for saving me. Yosuke's cool and all, but there really is something different about you. I feel like you won't let me down.
Gratitude. Faint bond. That means... The Chariot Arcana has some association with war and military success, but more generally, it symbolizes determination, self-confidence, and taking action in pursuit of your goals. It's also a symbol of self-control. The white and black sphinxes that pull the chariot on the card symbolize two opposing forces, but the charioteer is keeping both of them under control to pull himself forward. If you've just made a major decision, the chariot card appearing in a reading is usually a good sign, indicating that you're on the right path. So I personally feel it's significant that we're obtaining this arcana right after we've formed the investigation team. As for how it relates to Chie, well, she's finally getting over a lot of that residual self-hatred she had, and has become a bit more confident in herself. But additionally, characters in this series associated with the Chariot Arcana tend to be more athletically gifted over academics, which also suits Chie quite well. The personas of the Chariot Arcana relate to its war imagery. Almost all of them are mythological figures associated with war and/or weapons. And gameplay-wise, if you want a physical attacker, this is the Arcana you go to. They're usually pretty straightforward and focused almost entirely on physical attacks. As a social link, Chie is a pretty decent one to focus on, as she's available on a lot of days and doesn't require a lot of points to rank up. So, in that points display, you might notice that I've highlighted rank 9 in pink. This indicates the rank at which you have a choice between the platonic or romantic routes. Chie is the first romance option we're introduced to, although Yosuke doesn't want me to tell you this, but there are unused voice clips that imply he might have been planned as a romance option early in development, but that's not the case in the final game. Regardless of which route you choose when the time comes, it won't affect how long the social link takes to rank up, and that's true of most social links in this game, so it's really a matter of personal choice. Technically, there are a couple of tiny gameplay benefits to romances. The first is there's an achievement/trophy for romancing at least someone, and the second is that every romance option except one has a unique accessory they'll give you later in the game. However, it comes so late that you can only use this accessory for the final dungeon, so don't worry too much about which one of those you go for. And yes, you can only get one even if you're dating multiple girls. So Chie now has the same in-battle ability Yosuke does. Every odd-numbered rank of a party member social link will give them a new ability like this, and every even-numbered rank, well, we'll get to that later. And here's another annoying courage block.
Oh, right. You'll need this from now on, huh?
Just be thankful those options don't affect social link points, because later we'll have options that do.
We have to be careful of the fog that sets in after the rain, right? Let's save her before that happens.
They really hammer it over your head that you have to save the person before the fog comes. Usually happens after 2 days of rain or so. And the way that I'm doing things is not exactly the way you're meant to do it on a first time run, beating the dungeons in 1 day at all. But hey, look, we actually have a normal teacher, for once. Oh, actually wait, no. Normal PE teacher, but for some reason he's doubling as English. No, it's not. It's really, really, really not. Yeah, as someone who's actually done a languages degree, yeah, I know. Just because you've been overseas does not automatically qualify you to teach a foreign language. So, I already fear for this school. English is actually compulsory in a lot of Japanese schools, and most students hate it for good reason. English is, in my opinion, as a native English speaker, a stupid language, and I feel bad for anyone forced to learn it. But yeah, right here, alphabet. This is something that I actually remember learning when I was really young, but it's alpha and beta. Yeah, there are a lot of alphabets out there. And for Japanese, you have to learn hiragana, katakana, and kanji, the last of which has thousands of characters, and even most native speakers don't know all of them. I think there's about 2,000, like, general use kanji. You're really only supposed to know enough to read a newspaper. But that's enough random ranting about school. Starting today, we're free! We're free! We're finally free! And yes, get more of that blah 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 fog blah. So they actually kind of want you to go into the dungeon today because there aren't any social links with existing party members that are available today. And we can press square for the fast travel menu, and also I've actually turned on Vox Populi for this, although I'm actually not sure how to do this on a non-Vita because it's touchscreen controls. Is it this? It's not the... Okay, is it, This is gonna take a little bit of figuring out. I have no idea how to make that option work on a PS TV. Oh, okay, that's how it works. You have to hold down the L3 button, and, well, that's awkward. How to reach this? It's so sensitive. There we go. 5 most popular actions for the day of all players who are connected to the network. Now I have to turn off the pointer by clicking the left analog stick again. Okay, some people went straight home into TV, a lot of you went into TV, spend time with Marie? Huh, that's weird. So we also have a save point in our classroom, and if you want to know about how to navigate the school, talk to this girl. I believe in Persona 3 there was a student in a very similar place who also told you about how to navigate the school. I'm actually not going to explain that much about the school now because, like I said, we're kind of busy today. We've already gone through one social link profile, and let's just say we'll be starting a new one as well. One that's actually got a very long rank 1 conversation. Don't worry, I will be explaining the layout of the building eventually. So, we're currently on the 2nd floor of the school building, being 2nd years. The library is here, and as you can see with Vox Populi, you can go to there to study. There's also the practice building, which I think is called that because it's for practical subjects like science, sports, home economics, and the like. And yes, let's not get Kapura Gabora there.
Yo!
So if you talk to a party member who's not available to hang out with on a given day, you get the option to enter the TV, but you can also do that by going to Jeunesse via the travel menu. Let's not go today because I have something else I want to do. So in the hallway down here is where the library is, but first we need to talk to this lady. Shy students. Having played the Trail series lately, it's kind of disappointing that a lot of the generic students don't have names. It'd be pretty cool if they all had their own unique names, but some of them have their own subplots they kind of have going on throughout the game. Like this one, she is Notice Me Senpai Girl. Here is the library, and you can spend your afternoon studying here to raise your knowledge. Guess what? We're never going to do that for the entire playthrough. I know we're a bad student, but there are much better ways to raise knowledge in this game that don't take up time that we'd spend making friends. But speaking of things that don't take up time, this guy right here has an icon over his head. Let's talk to him. Funky Student's another very popular NPC with people who played this game. I really wish he was voice acted though, that would have been great. The localizers must have had a lot of fun translating this guy's dialogue. Yeah, sure, you're not just trying to avoid studying. I accept. So we've accepted our first side quest. Who's the Riddle Master? So this is apparently new to Golden. In the original PS2 version, NPCs with quests were not marked, and that sounds really annoying because often, yeah, you'll have new quests showing up in town throughout the game. Make sure you check all through Inaba because generally anybody who's out walking around might have a quest for you. So this is one of those categories puzzles. I'm really not good at these, and I don't know a lot of people who've completed these quests without resorting to a guide, which I'm gonna have to do. But anyway, red's in Group A, gray's in Group B. White's putting it down for Group A, orange has a Group B tattoo. Green's A for Shizzy, P is Group B times infinity. So, which one does black belong to? Group A or Group B? Via the magic of walkthroughs, I know that the answer here is Group A. And what they have in common, in other words, the only thing that contextualizes your previous answer, so that would have been better to know beforehand, they're top 6 flag colors. If you get this wrong, you actually have to wait until tomorrow to get another chance to answer. Well, that's good to know. I kind of wonder why some particular colors are used for flags more often than others. I think for a while they considered changing Australia's flag because we still have the Union Jack on it, even though we're not, like, we're still technically a British colony, but it doesn't really matter to us anymore. But anyway, for that we get 2 chest keys. Those will be helpful when exploring dungeons. Sometimes you'll encounter rare golden chests, and you need to use a chest key to open them. You can also get those by picking up a Temperance Arcana card in shuffle time. So this is the first floor, and around here is where our locker is. You'll want to remember where our locker is for later, but for now, we're actually going to head out of school. There's more to show there, but like I said, I'll get to that later. Firstly, we're going to go to Juness, but not to the food court. We're actually going to talk to you. Mrs. Housewife in Farming Clothes. Yes, that's her name. So she sells some vegetables and other foods. In this case, tomatoes made of souls. 3 for 800 yen. From the soul in their name, these items raise SP, so you want every single SP restoring item you can get. She restocks every week or so you want to go and check her goods whenever you are able. So now we're going to go to the central shopping district, because speaking of SP restoration items, a certain something is finally in stock now. This right here, the vending machine. Tap Soda. Every Tap Soda restores 10 SP. If you're doing a max Social Links run and need to finish dungeons in one day, buy as many Tap Sodas as you can every week. They restock every Monday, so make sure you come back to the vending machine then. You can only buy a certain number before... There we go. It's all sold out. And speaking of which, there's another vending machine in the northern part of the shopping district, but I won't use it just yet, because first I want to show... This is the Chinese diner Aya, which I think literally means love house. But I think in Chinese they often use the character for house to mean restaurant. So they're selling a Mabo Tofu combo for 800 yen. We're not gonna buy that. There's only one meal at Aya that we're interested in, and they only serve that on rainy days, but we're gonna be eating there a lot on those days. Now, we're gonna talk to this guy. Remember how he was thirsty last time? Well, I'm not sure how much Dr. Salt Neo would help with his thirst, but we're gonna go ahead and get one for him. And you can only buy that at the Northern Shopping District vending machine. This vending machine is quite special because it has a roulette and you can randomly win another free drink. I don't know why it says that, please go away. I don't use PlayStation Network very much, by the way. But anyway, we're gonna get a Dr. Salt Neo. And we didn't win anything. There's a trophy/achievement for winning a prize on the roulette wheel here, but you'll probably get it eventually, at least once. I think it's more common on particular days. All of the drinks here restore 5 SP, so... Oh, hey, we did! Nice. We got the Lucky Me trophy, just as I was talking about it. So, the roulette will actually keep going, and it's possible to keep winning over and over. I've actually had it happen like 5 times or so in a row. But anyway, like, yeah, all of these 3 drinks, they all restore 5 SP, so it doesn't really matter what combination you get. Oh, wow, I'm getting kind of lucky. So this is actually a re-record of this part, and on my first recording attempt, I didn't get any roulette victories there, so that's pretty lucky. Maybe it was a good thing that I'm redoing this episode. So now that we have Dr. Salt Neo, we can give it to this guy. All of the drink names I think are references to real soft drinks. The only one that I can understand is Dr. Salt Neo, because that's a reference to Dr. Pepper. So let's give him some Dr. Salt Neo. Like I said, I highly doubt this is going to affect his thirst, and will probably give him a caffeine/sugar rush. But at least we get 2 bugs. That might not seem like a great reward. Those are actually useful, and we need those for what's essentially an unmarked side quest. But we will get to that after we complete Yukiko's dungeon, because we can't start it until we get something from a random enemy drop there. Okay, now that we're done with that, there's a save point in the shopping district, and I'm going to go ahead and use it. We're going to go into the Velvet Room because we're going to follow up on that Vox Populi suggestion to spend time with Marie. But here's the thing, the moment we go in here, we're going to get a gigantic tutorial on how every single thing in the Velvet Room works. I don't think I'm ready to go over all of that yet, so I kind of hate skipping in-game tutorials and saying, oh, I can do a better job of explaining it myself. But I will have to do that because I really want to explain Fusion and the Compendium and all of that in a different episode. This one's going to be packed enough as it is. Although while we're here and about to interact with Marie, I can show the skill cards. This feature is new to Golden, and this is actually why I put up an annotation in part, I think it's part 6, saying not to use your skill cards yet. You need to give them to Marie first and she can clone them. Unfortunately, she doesn't do it for free, and you lose the skill cards you give. Giving them to her is free, but you'll be able to buy them back as many times as you want. The better the skill, the more expensive it is to buy. So we're going to give her our Taruunda skill card, and now for 5,000 yen we can get it back. You get an achievement/trophy for registering 1 skill card. There's a second one for registering 100 skill cards, and let's just say I am not going to get that in my first playthrough. It really says something, given this is like a 100+ hour JRPG, but you are not likely to get 100 skill cards in one playthrough unless you grind very extensively. You'll usually end up with about 50 at best. But let's check on Dwellers. So, listen to Marie's request. Oh, she doesn't seem interested. And a relationship needs a spark before it will deepen. Except not really. Because she's tsundere, all you need to do is go out of the Velvet Room and go back in again.
Huh?
When you don't see the Velvet Room menu showing up immediately, it means there's a cutscene. There are actually quite a lot of Velvet Room cutscenes that get triggered over the course of the game.
Huh?
I don't know, Marie's a very controversial character, but I personally find tsunderes hilarious, so I find her pretty funny sometimes. The annoying thing is, though, a lot of her tsundere outbursts like that are not voiced acted. Really? So having a tsundere around is going to help us. I mean, she helped with skill cards, but why do I get the feeling there's more reasons than that why she's here? Yeah, we did, very, very briefly. Not of man, so that would mean she's not entirely human, just like you and Igor. You know, I almost wonder if this is a bit of a mistranslation, because in Japanese the terms customer and guest are interchangeable, and I feel like guest is more appropriate for the Velvet Room. They're both okyaku-san or okyaku-sama in Japanese. This only gets more and more mysterious. So, a Velvet Room resident who isn't human and doesn't know much about the human world wants to be taken out of the room to explore. Given what ensued when we did that with Elizabeth in Persona 3, I'm looking forward to this.
Whatever.
She clearly isn't, though. Or maybe she is. You can never tell with tsunderes. So this is what listen to Marie's request means. If we go check on Dwellers, listen to Marie's request.
Huh?
I didn't think you were interested. we're gonna be her chaperone throughout the town. I wonder what she's been studying.
Let's go.
This is that steak skewers place that Yosuke was alluding to earlier. Its name literally means University of Side Dishes. The countryside does always tend to feel nostalgic, even to people who didn't grow up there.
Really?
I think this is the first time we're hearing this song, too. It's called A Dream Come True. No, Like a Dream Come True.
Hey. It's difficult to say.
Oh no, we kind of knew this would happen. We might have to spot her the money for this.
Huh?
We actually have quite a bit. For some reason, Shadow Chie dropped quite a lot.
What's up?
I don't know which of these is funnier, but, acquaintance, I guess? I mean, it is technically true. Well, the fanfiction writers would have another definition in mind. And she doesn't appear to have a last name, so it's just Marie for now. Such is Yosuke's lot in life, even when he's not forced to, he always ends up paying for everyone else's lunch. Yeah, this kind of sums up why I actually in real life don't eat red meat. It's just, I don't know, I don't really like it. Yosuke, you need to learn something about tsunderes. This sums them up quite well. If it doesn't sound like they like something, it means they like something.
Hey.
And amazing dialogue choice coming up. So, I mentioned that Hi, I'm Daisy parody comic earlier in this series. If you're a fan of it, you want to choose the first option here.
Beef steak?
This might be a reference to a line from that parody comic. I say might because in Japanese, she was talking about shortening bifuteki to just futeki. So it's possible this translation is a complete coincidence, or the Japanese writers are aware of the Hi, I'm Daisy comic and are referencing it, which would be amazing. But yeah, it's a reference to a line where Chie is asked to name a word that begins with F and she says for steak. Not exactly every day, but we kind of have access to it a lot of the time. And now she's gonna ask Margaret to, take her out of the room and treat her to steak skewers all the time.
Whoa!
Yeah, that about sums it up. Marie does have some good lines sometimes. So, there's only one place in Inaba with a nice view. And it also has a nice view of that garbage can there. Oh, this line reminds me of that part of the first Mario and Luigi where you're escorting Peach and she literally gets kidnapped if you take your eyes off of her. Green, green, some brown, and darker green. That about sums up nature. But I mean, at least we have some here. That is sadly more than can be said of a lot of cities and towns.
I said no.
No, you definitely weren't. You were just saying a bunch of random words that were arranged in lines and had a certain number of syllables and rhymed. It is a pretty great view, though. Well, there's not much to do here, but there's Juness and the shrine, and that's pretty much all we know. Oh, and the floodplain. Okay, we feel like wait a minute. Marie's social link is new content added to Golden. Both her and the Aeon Arcana were not in the original PS2 version. All the major Arcana were already taken from the original game, so the Aeon Arcana come from an alternate tarot deck, Aleister Crowley's Thoth deck. And in that deck, it replaces the Judgment Arcana. It carries similar symbolism: rebirth, absolution, and finally discovering your inner calling. It's typically the final step on the Fool's journey, so it's a little interesting that we're getting Aeon this early. But the name of this Arcana comes from a concept from Aleister Crowley's own occult religious philosophy. He divided the history of humanity into Aeons, essentially eras, each one worshipping a major deity. The first was the Aeon of Isis, followed by Osiris, and then finally Horus. These three deities represent the feminine, masculine, and the child, respectively. According to Crowley, the Aeon of Horus is when humanity will enter a time of self-realization and self-actualization. But it's best not to worry about how all of that relates to Marie for now, because even Marie herself has no idea who or what she is. This Arcana is populated entirely by personas new to Golden, and they're mythological figures associated with either light or beauty. In gameplay terms, they're usually magical attackers, and when I was looking through them I discovered something amusing. The early Aeon personas have a lot of ailment skills, while the later ones often learn healing and buffs. Yes, even the Arcana Marie presides over is Tsundere. As far as the social link itself goes, I couldn't find any information online as to the points needed for every rank, So I decided to Thanos it, and through experimenting in New Game Plus, I think these are the correct points values. I might be a little off on rank 5, but I can 100% confirm all of the others. It might look to you like this is a very easy social link to rank up, the point requirements are all very small. But there's a problem. Several ranks in this Arcana are gated off based on which party members have joined you, which means that you can't progress past rank 4 until late July. So it's not as quick to max out as you would probably think. Also, that rank 5.5 there is not a typo, that's actually part of this, and I'll explain that when we get there. It's also important to note that the Aeon social link is on a deadline. However, once you get close to the deadline, Marie will become available every day of the week until you max out the social link. So you don't need to worry too much, it's very hard to miss the deadline without intentionally trying. Finally, a few clarifications about Marie as a romance option. A lot of people are under the impression that her link is romantic by default, but she does have a platonic route. Also, in Chie's bio I mentioned there was one romance option that didn't give you an accessory. Marie is that one.
See ya.
And now that we've hung out with someone, that is our day. And it skips to evening time. So when Dojima isn't around, you can go out on the town at night. But there really isn't anything for us to do out there right now. We can check the fridge though. Half-eaten cup of instant ramen. For some reason, we're not interested in it. So about the fridge, only check the fridge when a guide tells you to. Because sometimes you need to save some fridge meals for certain days, and I think if you say no to eating one, then you don't get another chance the rest of the week.
Well...
She is still absorbed in that quiz show. Some people were wondering if you could use the quiz show to raise knowledge, but you can't, sadly. But we've made pretty good progress today. We've started 2 social links, so we now have 4 to our name. And now for something really, really annoying. So, what we're gonna do tonight is study at our desk. When you study, there's a random chance of getting 2 increases in knowledge instead of just 1. Also, we have our calendar here. And in a bit of a fourth wall break, the calendar is a Persona 3 themed calendar. But yeah, we have a work table here. We don't have any work though. A sofa, which if we had a book we could read. And the futon. You can use the futon to go to sleep without doing anything else and just pass the next day. And sometimes you'll randomly have a dream about a random social link and get points with them. We're never going to use the futon in the entire playthrough. What we're gonna do is study, and here's the annoying part. We have to save and reload until we get +2 knowledge instead of +1. I don't know what the exact chance of it is, but I've had this go on for up to 5 resets or so I could be here a while. Or I could get ridiculously lucky and get it first try. Okay then. That was okay, like I said, this is a re-record, and my first attempt of recording this day, it took me about 6 attempts to get that, so clearly this is a good sign.
Whoa, maybe you are my type.
Give me a break.
What? Oh, right. You'll need this from now on, huh? Okay then. Feel free to call whenever.